Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Totally Awesome Podcast. It's your boy, JoshAgeddon, here with the Colonist.
Hello, hello.
And we were reviewing the 13-year-long show called WrestleMania 35.
Isn't it 15-year long? How many matches were actually on the card?
I've missed weddings, I've missed funerals because of the show, but...
I still don't know what day it is. I'm very confused.
But on the whole, that's probably my biggest issue with this show. But I thought it was a pretty good show overall.
Honestly, it was the best Mania in the past several years. For sure. I think it had a lot of exciting parts to it. I think just at the end, people just got so gassed.
Yeah. Like, the peak was clearly Kofi versus Daniel Bryan. After that, they were done.
No doubt. It was. I mean, it wasn't like they were full-fledged done, but like definitely the show quality also declined.
Yeah, and there were 16 matches, including the pre-show. 16.
Oof.
Wow. that's
a lot.
That's ridiculous. That is absurd. So
I've been saying for the past couple years they should push this to a 2-day event. And at least if you do that, then you could have a world title close both days.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you make the world titles feel more important.
Yeah.
But no.
Nope.
Cram it all into one day.
Yeah. Especially when people have work the next morning.
Yeah, what time did it end? Like 12:30?
Dude, like I don't even remember.
12:30 Eastern time. God knows how long it was for the international fans.
Let me just say this to explain how long the show was. During the entrances for the Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag, I decided to go get something to drink because I really didn't care about the match. By the time I got back from buying my stuff, they were still doing the entrances.
Yeah.
That's how long the show was.
Yeah, it was massively long.
So, I guess we can briefly touch on the pre-show. I did watch back the Tony Nese and Buddy Murphy and the Raw tag matches. Both those matches were pretty good.
I didn't see Buddy Murphy, Tony Nese, but I honestly did like the Revival and Hawkins and Ryder. It was a good match to get the fans hot for the show, I think.
Yeah.
Well, but fans were there.
Yeah.
But poor Revival.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know what? In all fairness to Hawkins and Ryder, like they are an entertaining couple of guys. You know, I would have liked to have seen Kurt actually get his win, like in a singles match myself.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have meant a little bit more, but you know, I'm nitpicking. Like it really wasn't that bad.
He won a championship and got one of the biggest pops of the night. So.
Yeah, how messed up is that? That one of the best pops came from the pre-show.
Well, again, the show's way too long.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it would have been more exciting. If you mix-matched a lot of those different matches, you'd get different reactions for them. No doubt.
But I do recommend going and seeing Tony Nese and Buddy Murphy. It was a pretty good match.
I mean, everyone complains about the cruiserweights never getting like main card appearances, but to be fair, they really are great pre-show competitors because they do get the crowd hyped with all the crazy stuff they do.
Plus, if they were on the main show, no one watches 205 Live, so everyone watching would be like, who are these guys?
Yeah, there'd definitely be something lost in translation there, no doubt.
And as for the 2 Battle Royals, no thanks.
I only caught like half of the women's Battle Royal. I got really excited when Sarah Logan won. It made me want to see more of Sarah Logan, to tell you the truth. And then Carmella happened. And in all fairness to Carmella, I really like Carmella as a competitor. I really do. I think she's really improved a lot in the past couple years, but it just came out of nowhere when she really had no momentum. So like,
yeah.
And don't get me even started on Asuka, on the whole from champion to jobbing on the pre-show in 2 weeks
in a Battle Royal.
I'm just gonna leave it at that. So anyone who thinks that Vince cares at all about Japanese wrestlers, look at what they did to Asuka, and you tell me that he gives a shit. Just saying.
If Asuka was in the main event instead of Charlotte, do you think that would have been a better match for the main event?
I think it would have been better if Asuka and Charlotte had their own singles rematch.
Yeah. For
the SmackDown Championship, which would have actually felt important.
Yeah.
Because they had done it the year before, and maybe Asuka could, return the favor on that one. But why are we introducing Logic into WWE now?
Yeah.
It's 2019.
Yeah.
At this point, Logic has been gone since probably 2012.
Yeah. So, dude, even before that. But,
CM Punk had some Logic thrown in. So, Summer of Punk 2011, I'll give credit for that. Once it got to The Rock coming back, that pretty much ended it.
And the twice in a lifetime that still haunts my dreams to this day.
Why didn't they just make a third one happen?
They kind of did at the expense of the Wyatt family. Remember?
Yeah, but that was the match. That was them teaming up and being like, "Hey, we're friends now. Don't you love Fruity Pebbles and the Tooth Fairy working together?"
And don't you just love how we keep using the Wyatt family to their full potential?
Where have they been? Oh yeah. And what a great momentous return for Luke Harper in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, where everyone could tell how important and how used he was going to be. That was a great job. Good job on their part.
But anyway, the actual show started. A lot of people complained about the ring setup, how it was just a giant screen.
They've really been phoning in their appearances for their shows for years now.
Yeah.
I mean, there used to be, if you recall, or if you go back on the WWE Network, which you can buy for the low price of $9.99 a month, and if you look back at like Backlash 2002, or like any of those pay-per-views where they actually had creative setups for every pay-per-view, and now every Raw looks the same, every SmackDown looks the same, every pay-per-view looks the same, except for WrestleMania, but it's, I don't know, they really just have stopped trying it.
I will say I loved the screen just because it was so massive. It was a lot to take in, which I liked.
When I first saw it, I'm like, damn, that must have been an expensive Tron.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like the size of good, like 6 or 7 normal Trons.
Yeah. It was enormous. So the show started with Alexa Bliss coming out, and I was immediately annoyed because, I want to start WrestleMania with a wrestling match. But boy, did we.
This is WWE, Joshua. It doesn't happen.
I know.
There's never action that starts a show.
I
It's
know.
just commonplace.
Why do I keep my hope? Why do I keep having hope, Sean? What's wrong with me?
Honestly, I think that's what WWE relies on, is us to have willful hope that we know was never going to happen.
I don't know how it hasn't been beaten out of me yet. Also, if you're hearing an echo, people that are listening to this, I apologize. I don't know how to turn it off. But
What?
yeah. Thanks, Sean. The show actually started out with Hulk Hogan, which surprised me, and he got a decent pop. But that led to Paul Heyman coming out.
Now, before you get to this Paul Heyman part, a lot of people didn't like the fact that Hogan came out, and do I say that? Suck it up, people. Suck it up, okay?
Yeah, I saw a bunch of complaining on Twitter, and I was just laughing.
And the only people with their panties in a knot are people who are trying to act PC.
Yes.
They're trying to pander, and they're trying to act out for other people. Get a mind of your own, and get over yourselves. If he's back, that means it's over. You all should just deal with it. End of story.
It's
White privilege 101. Here we go. What's up?
It's almost like there's no such thing as forgiveness on Twitter.
Or social media at all.
Yeah.
I actually got into a legitimate argument saying, like, what has Hogan ever done to you? Specifically done to you? He had no argument. Because he didn't do anything to him. And this is a white guy I'm talking to, just for varying. He's like, he's a racist. I'm like, what the fuck do you care?
Yeah. But I want a virtue signal, Colonist. I have to virtue signal 24/7.
I know, and now your whole podcast is going to get demonetized, and people are going to start backlashing to me on this. But you know what?
Oh well.
Suck it up to all you people too, because I really don't care what you think.
Hey, if white privilege is real, that means we're going to get away with it anyway. Anyway.
Exactly.
Just keep digging the hole deeper.
Before we've even gotten to the match.
Anyway, Paul Heyman. And the worst part is this is the show where they had the first African-born black WWE champion. What's wrong with us?
Hey, I was all for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Anyway, so Paul Heyman comes out. Right when Paul Heyman came out, I was like, oh boy, are they doing what I think they're doing? And then they did what I thought they were doing. And then I was like, holy crap, Seth Rollins is winning. And then he did.
This was really surprising. First of all, I really like the fact that Heyman came out while Hogan was still on the stage. Like, he just didn't have time to watch that posing bullcrap.
Yeah.
He was like, no, I got business to take care of. And I loved that because it was, confusing, but in, like, the exciting way.
Yeah.
That it used to be. You know, that when something was happening, you wanted to pay attention to it, especially with Heyman, like, freaking out with the way he did.
Yeah.
But you don't really see from Heyman either. Normally he's cool and collected, but I love this. I loved this opening. It was great.
Yeah, and especially the whole, we're going to go to Vegas line. I love that.
Yeah.
And then Brock Lesnar proceeded to beat the piss out of Seth Rollins. Did you see the bruises on this man's back?
I felt for him, and especially because, like, in the weeks leading up, like, you heard about all those stories about Seth having, like, a pre-existing back injury that he was working through. And then you saw those black and blue marks on his back. I mean, it only added to that drama to it, which is great. You know, you don't get those types of drama-filled moments, especially to start a show like that.
That F5 on the floor must have sucked. That looked brutal.
That probably hurt. I would imagine that probably hurt.
Like, I was going to say that was a fantastic sell, but I don't know how much of that was selling and how much of that was real. Because it looked oof.
Props to Seth on that because he's great at blurring the lines like that. I mean, he's one of those guys where it looks like he's actually legitimately in pain. And he probably was actually legitimately in pain.
Yeah, because he got slammed really hard, and I think I may have fixed the echo. Never mind. It keeps coming back up. Why does it keep doing this? Anyway.
That's what an echo does.
Anyway.
Literally the definition of an echo.
Anyway. Alright, so this is going to be strange to edit, but yeah, Seth Rollins hit the low blow when the referee got knocked out of the ring, and then hit a super kick and 3 curb stomps and a new Universal Champion.
The only thing I didn't like about that match was the low blow. I understand why he did it, but I really would have liked to have seen Seth do something other than a low blow. It's just, I don't know. It feels like it's been overused at this point. Like, after Nakamura's House of Dicks, from then, and then you move on to, like, Daniel Bryan doing it.
Daniel Bryan was showing Nakamura how to properly utilize the House of Dicks maneuver.
Daniel Bryan did it to Brock, and then Daniel Bryan did it to AJ. I don't know what everyone's fascination with AJ's sack is. But
he's a Southern boy, what can I say?
I just felt like it just wasn't necessary. Like, there was another way to do that. And I'm not saying that it took away from the match. This is personal preference. That's all.
Yeah.
And then the 3 curb stomps, which I thought were great, and a clean pin.
Yeah, well,
which was also great.
Relatively clean. I mean, the low blow makes it a teeny bit dirty. But he won by himself.
That's right. Exactly. I was cool with it. I mean, that's a small detail in what otherwise was a great opener to this show.
And as much as I love Brock Lesnar, it's such a breath of fresh air to see someone else with the belt.
It was time.
Yes.
It was time for him to drop it.
It was time at Crown Jewel, and I can't believe I'm saying this. Braun Strowman still should have won that match, but...
I mean, whether you like Braun or you hate him, it's criminal what happened to Braun Strowman.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the way that he was, A, incredibly over, B, had opportunity after opportunity, and I hear, of course, that he had those backstage issues, but whether he was or not, from a storyline standpoint, he deserves better than that. He deserves better than fighting the SNL guys on the fucking pre-show.
And teaming with a 10-year-old last year.
Don't trigger me. Don't do it.
And also being Karen Jarrett's bitch.
We don't need a rant this early in the show. We already just did that white privilege stuff. Let's
Alright, so up next was I might be a teeny bit triggered. We know Randy Orton was a little triggered. Randy Orton versus AJ Styles in an absolutely blinding matchup. This match actually kind of made me sad because it was really good, but like half the crowd was blinded, so it was really quiet until the end.
Yeah, and honestly, the match, I feel like based on where it was and how much time they had, this could have been like a feature bout in another reality. But it ended up going on second. I mean, it was still good. Don't get me wrong. It was still good. I very much enjoyed how they worked off each other. They had a great chemistry together.
Randy gave one of the best superplexes I've ever seen. It was amazing. Which
actually injured AJ Styles. I don't know whether you know that. That was the spot that did it. And it wasn't anything Randy did. It's just that AJ rotated wrong and landed on one hip before he landed on the other hip.
Ooh.
Which was fine at first. But, like, the next day, he could, like, barely walk. So, we'll have to see how he recovers from that. But, I mean, I'm sure he'll be fine. He's obviously going to get a huge pop when he returns.
Yeah, I mean, and landing on your hip from that high up, yeah, that's some...
That's going to hurt.
Yeah. And can I just say that my two favorite users of the drop kick in a match against each other? Just the drop kicks in this match. Oh, my God. Especially the one AJ does a beautiful drop kick. Randy Orton does a vicious drop kick.
Randy has had a picture perfect drop kick from the moment he debuted.
Yes.
In 2002.
Just oh my God.
One of his best features.
Yes, I love his people that say Randy Orton is boring. Like, I'm not gonna say they're wrong, but that drop kick, you got to give him that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And what was interesting about this match is that my mom came down. Mama Colonist came down to watch this match. And my mom's, like, not a wrestling fan at all. But she really actually enjoyed the match. Which I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. My mom's watching wrestling. And then but she kind of got worked by it, which was fun. Because then I could be like, oh, what's going to happen next? And blah, 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 blah. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but it was interesting because I was thrown off, and I'm, like, never thrown off.
So she was reacting more to the match than the audience was in the arena. But to be fair, at least your mom could see the match.
That's true.
Like, why were there so many technical issues at the biggest show of the year?
2 words. You're going to hear a lot tonight. Kevin Dunn.
More like Kevin Dumb. Like, bruh.
You know, if you look up in the stars and you see 2 giant squares, they call that Kevin Dunn's teeth.
He's what would happen if Timmy Turner got into wrestling and grew up somewhat.
And then had his dad save the tape library like back in the 80s. And now he's got a job for life.
Oh my God. He needs to wish to make a wish. I wish that I could do camera work properly.
There's a great clip from 2002. It was right when they were it was shortly after the brand split and Bischoff had just taken over Raw, and the whole point was you know how Raw and SmackDown were trying to mess with each other at that time.
Yeah.
And there was a commercial that aired right before Raw went back on the air, and the commercial was for SmackDown. And the next scene you see on that Raw is Eric Bischoff storming into the production truck, and he just yells out, "Kevin Dunn, what the hell was that?"
I need to see this.
And every time Kevin Dunn does something stupid, I just think about that in my mind because every time it happens so often.
Like whenever he zooms in and out, and you feel like you're about to vomit.
And trust me, this will not be the last talk of Kevin Dunn on this podcast.
And the worst part was Randy Orton thought the crowd was chanting for him, but no, they were just chanting, "Please turn the lights off." Because
to be fair though, Randy's a good sport about it.
Yes.
I mean, he could have been what he usually is, and that's being a dick.
Yeah.
But he decided instead to just shake his hands after we washed them. And just be sorry to all the fans, and he even made fun of it, on SmackDown a couple nights ago.
Yeah. So I assume you saw the Instagram post he did.
Yeah. Oh
yeah. Yeah. And I love how in that post he put his own match over. That's just great.
I mean, to be fair, it was a good match.
Yes, it was.
I mean, so you can never tell. Randy would be the first to tell you how good his matches are.
Oh yeah.
But that's just Randy.
I'm not going to argue with him because I'm in love with the man. Anyway.
That is... Let's move on.
Up next was probably one of the most entertaining top-tier matches of the show, the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the SmackDown Tag Titles. The Usos versus Aleister Black, Ricochet, Rusev Nakamura, and The Bar. This match was awesome.
The real star of this match. First of all, before I say that, you know how I was talking about poor Asuka?
Mm-hmm.
Poor Nox and Rusev. I mean, how bad is it that they have to be in a boo America? We don't like America because we're not America. And that's their gimmick. How many of those have we had? How many, like...
Rusev has had one of those.
Like 8 times. Like, that's... He was there when he was Russian.
It's 2019.
Two nationalities of hating America, and it still hasn't gotten over. Rusev Day got over.
Unfortunately.
Do with that. But, but still.
Yeah, this match was awesome.
Great match. Ricochet, definitely the star of this match. No doubt.
And Cesaro to a certain extent. That section when he was doing the swing and Sheamus kept beating dudes in the chest over and over.
The bar, man.
That was fantastic.
The bar entertaining without even trying to be entertaining. That's what I like. That's why I've really enjoyed their longevity. The fact that they've been around for 3 or 4 years now, I think.
You know what would have been even better? If Cesaro was swinging Nicholas instead.
Oh my god!
Just imagine him swinging that little kid, then just flinging him out of over the top rope into the stands.
Oh Lord, that would be because they would be in so much trouble for that. But
I don't care.
That would have made my day.
Oh
I
man.
wouldn't even watch the rest of the show. That would have been like, that's it. There's nothing that's gonna beat that.
Yeah, it was. And also one thing I loved about this match. Some of the kicks in this match were so stiff.
Hard.
They kicked each other in the mouth several times. And I was like, ooh.
That black mass was not a work.
Yeah.
That hurt.
Yeah.
And I loved that Tower of Death that they did. And then Ricochet landed on his feet and just kind of backed into the corner like, how the hell did I survive that?
We looked at this differently. You were like, how the hell did I do that? And I was thinking, I'm so glad I landed that. It might have been both.
It probably was both.
I don't know what just happened, but I sure am glad that it happened. But yeah, the Usos won the match with a double splash, and in my opinion, I would have been happy with Aleister Black and Ricochet winning, but the Usos was the right team to win.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been comfortable with any of these 4 teams winning it. I mean, I'm a big fan of the bar. I would have liked to have seen the bar win just because it would have been a nice change up from losing to a child.
Yeah, and a guy who pissed himself.
But I kind of think that the bar at this point don't need the tag titles to be relevant.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they don't need the titles to elevate themselves because when they're in a match, they're having a pretty high-profile match.
Yeah.
And that goes to show how talented those two are and how successful they are as a team. And it's one of the very few instances of just throwing 2 people together because you have nothing to do with them and it actually working.
Yes.
So props to them for making it the best of that situation.
I have a question. What are your thoughts on Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy winning the tag titles from the Usos on SmackDown this past Tuesday?
I think it's hypocritical of fans who complain about part-timers and all these older guys taking things from the younger guys, and yet they cream themselves when the Hardys are in the ring. And I love Matt. Matt is one of my favorite wrestlers. He's probably my favorite wrestler, period. End of sentence, full stop. And I'm not knocking either of them in any way. I'm blaming the fans for being massive hypocrites.
Yeah.
I really think it's fine. I mean, it's going to depend. I think it's going to lead to a nice pay-per-view match between the 2 teams.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really looking forward to that.
And it was brothers versus brothers, so it was interesting.
Yeah, and then Lars Sullivan showed up, which happened.
Yes. Hey, that's remember, Lars Sullivan's gimmick is he's what Braun Strowman should have been and what Braun Strowman fans think he is.
He's Braun Snitsky.
Yes, except, actually kind of good. But that's just my opinion.
It's not his fault, though.
His entrance is phenomenal, though.
Yeah, it is.
But speaking of phenomenal, or a severe lack of, Shane McMahon versus The Miz in a Falls Count Anywhere match. This is the first thing on the show that I didn't like.
That is where we did. This was like an Attitude Era style, like craziness. This was just like there was the George Miz, the potato versus potato face off. There was
Oh, Shane was throwing a few potatoes. Let me tell you.
In the cultaholic sense of the phrase.
Yes.
But, yeah, it's that was ridiculous, and then Miz just beating up Shane. That golf cart bump was nasty.
Yes.
He was not supposed to fall that extra 6 feet. I guarantee you.
Or the part where he the one where he kicked it, Shane, and Shane's head bounced off a railing.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Shane took some nasty stuff. I mean, I didn't even mind the finish just because I've thought about that, like doing a finish like that before. So I was like, hey, they stole my idea. I'm cool with that.
I will say the only reason I don't like this match, besides Shane McMahon's god-awful, horrendous punches, is purely my own personal bias against Shane McMahon and The Miz because I hate them both. That said, this match was entertaining.
Yeah,
I will give them props for that.
It was not going to be Gargano Cole.
No.
Nobody expected it to be, but it was a match that I was underwhelmed with on paper that I feel over-delivered. It wasn't the best, but it over-delivered, which I was totally cool with. And I actually told you before that match started that it was going to over-deliver.
Yes, you did. You called it. And I did like the finish, even though it made The Miz look like a complete and total moron. Like, he beat himself.
Yeah, I mean, but also there was that's also circumstances. You get hurt, and then he just happens to be on top of you. I mean, it happens.
Also, I don't like The Miz, so I don't care that much.
Fair enough. I'm kind of I don't mind The Miz. He's not the greatest wrestler, but he's not the worst. I mean, he's definitely on the roster.
Yeah. And I love his finishing move. I love the skull-crushing finale.
Yeah, I wish that Shane McMahon actually hadn't kicked out that. You know what would have been cool?
Yes, they buried they buried the skull-crushing finale on this show.
If Miz had done a skull-crushing finale off of that guard thing, and then they both just fell,
and somehow Shane landed on top of him.
Yeah, I would have been cooler with that.
Yes.
I mean, the suplex was dope. Don't get me wrong.
Also, there was a part of the match they beat the crap out of each other. Like Shane hit him with a TV monitor, and the top or back of Miz's head got busted open. He was bleeding everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it was legitimately Attitude Era style match, and for as infrequently as they do that kind of stuff, I was cool with this one. I thought it was fine.
It was almost the exact same thing that happened when Shane had that no holds barred match with Randy Orton back at No Way Out in 2009, where he hit him in the head with a TV monitor and Orton was bleeding everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So Shane really needs to work on his TV monitor. He really needs to work on his TV monitor strikes.
Corner of the thing.
Yes, he does.
He has to, because there's no other way that somebody's getting busted with a TV monitor unless you hit him with the exact sharp edge, right at the base of the neck.
By the way, if you guys haven't seen the match I'm talking about, the Randy Orton Shane McMahon no holds barred match, it's a fantastic match.
I mean, Randy's work in 2009 was unparalleled.
Yes.
I mean, that is peak Randy Orton.
Yes, absolutely.
And that match with Shane was great. It's a shame that the WrestleMania match that year was not super.
Yes.
But it's okay. It's honestly, but that match, it's worth the watch.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of good storyline to it, and that was probably the last really good year of storylines, was 2009.
That whole No Way Out, I keep saying No Escape, that whole No Way Out pay-per-view for 2009 is really good. That whole pay-per-view is great.
Yeah, there's a lot of underrated matches on that one.
Speaking of, I don't want to say underrated because it's exactly rated as it should have been. The Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag Team match, the Iconics versus Boston Hug Connection, worst name ever, Nia Jax and Tamina, and the Divas of Doom. This match sucked.
I didn't care. Nobody cared.
That's the main reason. I will be fair. When the two teams that could work were in the ring together, the match was fine. Problem was, you also had the Iconics, Nia Jax, and Tamina in the ring as well, and when they were in the match, it of course fell apart, because it's the Iconics and Nia Jax and Tamina.
I mean, they all tried. I'll give you an A for effort, maybe like a C- for execution, maybe even a D+. It just, I couldn't get invested in it. Nobody else could get invested in it. And
Paige is the worst commentator on there were multiple commentators on the show. Thank God Booker T was cut short, but Paige was so bad. She was, oh my god.
That was why they had so many different commentators for this show. This was like guest commentator mania.
You could tell that Paige was pretending to sound excited. She sounded like she did not care at all.
Yeah, because she heard everybody else, and everybody else didn't care.
Yeah.
We didn't care.
Yeah.
She didn't care.
But she sounded like she was pretending to care, which is even worse.
Yeah, it's just, and then the only thing that was funny about, there was one thing that I found hilarious about this. You know how they call Nia Jax the unstoppable force?
Yes.
Well, when she was thrown into that ring steps, clearly the ring steps were not the immovable object, because she hit them, and those ring steps flew a good 8 feet into the ring. I was like, oh my god.
So, white privilege and now fat shaming. We're batting 1,000 tonight, Sean.
I'm not fat shaming. I'm saying the ring steps were not the immovable object. I'm not saying anything about Nia Jax. Wait.
I'll say one thing about Nia Jax. When the first few seconds of the match, someone threw a drop kick at her. She no-sold it, so Natalya legit got pissed and shoved her out of the ring. And then Nia Jax took the drop kick bump, and right there, I completely lost any interest I had in the match.
I don't even remember that moment.
Like, someone threw a drop kick right in Nia's face, and she just stood there and forgot. She was supposed to jump out of the ring, but then Natalya had to come up and shove her, like get out. And I was just already infuriated. But I will say one thing that I do like about this match. The Iconics, you know when they say iconic and they do the superhero pose? That I find that hilarious. It just works. Although, there's one thing about it that doesn't make any sense. They're heels. Why are the heels doing a superhero pose? They should be doing a super villain pose.
Because Joshua, because.
Am I trying to find logic in WWE again?
Yeah, you gotta stop that.
Okay, I can't help it. I'm only human, Sean.
I know, but you gotta work on that. I do find the finish was just hysterical to me. I actually busted out laughing because it was like, it was just the dumbest finish.
Yes.
It was like, we got emphatic glam slam, which was awesome.
Yes.
From Beth Phoenix, and then just like, okay, we're just gonna take the pin. Bye. That was it.
I cannot believe they put the belts on the Iconics. I mean, I can, but I can't.
I mean, Sasha Banks tried to quit because of it. She's currently throwing a temper tantrum, and we may not see her in WWE again now. So
yeah.
And it's like, and honestly, I kind of see her point because like, you just established these women's tag titles. You have two good workers in Sasha and Bayley. You had already gone through the lengths of saying, we're going to go defend these in NXT. We're going to defend them on both places. And then they lose, like...
To the Iconics.
First defense.
It gives me flashbacks of the whole Neville and Enzo Amore cruiserweight title thing.
You know...
It's eerily similar.
I see what you're saying there. You know what would have been nice is if... I know how you feel about the Iconics, but it would have been better if the Iconics had won the belts in the first place and then have Sasha and Bayley win them at Mania.
Yeah.
Because it would have felt like at least a little bit more important. You could have had the Iconics being like gimmicky about that, but then you could have Sasha and Bayley bring that legitimacy in.
I will say I don't hate the Iconics. I hate Nia Jax and Tamina because they're horrendous, but the Iconics just aren't ready yet.
What do you think's going to happen to Tamina now that Nia Jax is getting double ACL surgeries? My guess is that she's just going to go back into obscurity forever.
Can she just stop wearing that enormous jacket, please? I
know, she looks like the dollar store Ginyu Force.
Whenever she wrestles, for a minute in that gigantic jacket, she looks like she just ran a marathon.
Yeah, because she's just sweat her ass off because she's wearing a jacket wrestling.
Why?
What do you expect?
Take it off. I mean,
no, don't.
All right, Sean. Anyway.
No offense, I'm not calling you ugly. I'm just saying it's okay.
So, Samoans just don't tickle Sean's fancy, okay? Okay.
We don't need to be degrading our women by having them take off their clothes in the middle of a wrestling ring. This isn't 2003.
All right, you're going to get Dave Meltzer if you don't watch it.
I'm trying to balance out what I was saying. It's just trying to get this level a little bit.
Anyway, man, we're getting demonetized so fast.
Oh, God.
Up next was clearly, I don't think there's going to be any argument from anyone, the best thing on the show. Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. This should have been the main event, but I'm kind of glad it wasn't, because if this was the main event, the crowd would have been way too exhausted.
It wouldn't have gotten the reaction it did. I definitely agree with that. I mean, this was. I have no complaints about this match at all.
It was so good.
The ending was a hair abrupt.
Yeah.
But honestly, the reaction and response after that was what made it all worth it.
The reversals in this match were glorious.
Ridiculous.
The counter from the SOS into the Yes Lock, I still have no idea how Daniel Bryan did that. It was amazing.
It's the lapel lock though now.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's the new Daniel Bryan.
Even though the new Daniel Bryan has been around for like 6 months.
Yes. He should change it to the "We're used to you now, Daniel Bryan."
The new but not so new, the slightly tarnished Daniel Bryan.
But
what do they use on Amazon? The like new Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
Not
And
the new Daniel Bryan, but the like new Daniel Bryan.
And I'm so glad, because we all know that the New Day breakup is coming. They're clearly going to turn Big E Langston heel.
Oh yeah.
I'm very thankful that they went with the happy ending for this.
Oh yeah.
Because if they did it at WrestleMania, if they had Big E turn, it would not have worked.
Yeah, it would not at all. I think that they needed that Bret Hart WrestleMania 10 hoist up on the shoulders, everybody's cheering. And honestly, I'm not a huge fan of backstage segments mid-match, but them cheering on Kofi worked in this situation.
Yes, it did. This needed the storybook ending.
Cheering him on.
Yeah, I love this. I have no complaints about this whatsoever. Other than it should have been the main event, but that's just me.
Well, that's a lot of people have been saying that.
Yes, it was if you watch the show and you turned it off after this, then you would have missed 2 good matches, but
you would have missed some interesting things.
Yes,
let's just put it that way.
Well, you would have missed a midget power bombing a giant. That's
And a 42-year-old. We'll get to it.
Yes.
We'll get to it.
Up next was Samoa Joe eating Rey Mysterio alive for the United States Championship.
I loved this.
Yeah, me too.
I thought this was, especially for such a long card, it made Samoa Joe look great.
Yes.
Rey obviously was still hurt.
Yeah. I mean, didn't he have an ankle injury?
Something like that. Thanks, Baron Corbin. And but it was great. It made Samoa Joe look badass, which is something WWE has struggled with.
Yes.
So hard.
Just have him murder people.
Roster. This is all we've ever wanted from Samoa Joe, was that.
How is it so hard to just have big, evil-looking dudes murder people?
No, it was perfect, especially a guy like with the status of Rey Mysterio putting over Joe that way. I loved this. I thought it was exactly what it needed to be.
Yeah. Also, another reason why I love this is because Booker T got cut off, and I hate listening to Booker T on commentary, so I got what I wanted in spades.
Yeah, I think we all lucked out on that.
Yes. Also, Rey Mysterio coming out dressed as Mysterio was fantastic.
When are we going to see Mysterio in a Spider-Man film? I'm just saying...
He's in the next one.
Is he?
Yeah, he's in Far From Home. He's in the trailer.
Good, because I'm a big fan of the whole Quentin Beck and Mysterio and all that, because it's such a fun storyline, and it's like he's one of my favorite villains because he's just like he's so corny that it's amazing.
Yeah, you have a trailer to watch after we're done here, and I think he's played by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Okay, I'm less interested, but
anyway. So yeah, the Samoa Joe Rey Mysterio match, thumbs up. Up next, not gonna lie, kind of a mixed bag. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre in a singles match. This felt like a Monday Night Raw match.
It was fine.
It was fine.
It was fine. It was not bad. It was not good. It was fine. And it was nice to see Drew get a WrestleMania singles match though. big happiness for that.
He got beat way too easily, though.
Yeah, but I don't think this match really, let's be honest, this match was not about Drew.
Yes.
At all.
Yeah.
Drew was just the placeholder here.
He did get to show some of his moves. He did get to show some of his stuff, and he did look good.
He did. He did. And I think that he's a good, legitimate guy to make feel like Roman Reigns is going back to feeling a little bit more important.
Mm-hmm.
He was the right guy in the right place to get Roman Reigns back over. I mean, good and I also felt pretty satisfied for Roman Reigns. I've never hated Roman Reigns.
Yeah, me either.
Even when he's gotten all that hate, it was nice to hear Roman cheered at a Mania. Those past few have been really rough on him.
Yeah. Can you imagine wanting to wrestle at WrestleMania your whole life and actually getting the main event, and everyone hates you?
For 4 years.
For 4 years straight.
For 4 straight years, just unbridled, X-Pac go away heat.
Yes.
And finally getting the cheers. I think it was nice. It was fine.
Mm-hmm.
It did feel like a Raw match, but I'm not upset that it was on the card.
Yeah. Up next, Sean, I think me and you are in the minority for this next match. Triple H versus Batista, no holds barred. If Triple H loses, he would have to retire from in-ring competition. I loved this match.
This match, well, we were talking about Attitude Era style matches. This was definitely like a ruthless aggression style match.
Yes.
It wasn't a technical masterpiece.
No, it was not.
It was not meant to be a technical masterpiece. It was, I mean, I loved Triple H's, demonic smile as he was just messing with his fingers.
That's a nice nose ring you got there.
Yeah.
That was funny.
It was great. It was great, ruthless aggression storytelling with two guys who just, were out there having fun.
Yeah, and I've never seen Triple H bounce off a DDT before.
Yeah.
That was insane.
That bump that Batista took on the table that wasn't the table that didn't break.
The bump he took on the steel steps off the powerbomb, my God.
Yeah, that one was rough.
He bounced and slid off the edge, and I was like, oh, you poor man.
Yeah, they beat the tar out of each other.
Yes, they did.
It was great fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Triple H's entrance was fantastic. I loved that Mad Max entrance.
Batista's entrance was awesome in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely the Hollywood. You definitely played up that Hollywood-esque thing.
I was talking about how when he was trying to get into the ring, he kind of tripped, and everyone was like...
Oh, yeah, they made him do it again, and you will never, for the record, if you go onto the network, which you can conveniently watch for the low price of $9.99, you get your first month free.
Thank you, Sean.
If you watch that WrestleMania, you will not see that trip because he went out and went back in to make sure that they could edit it so that he didn't look like a jackass.
Too late. Oh man, when that happened, everyone on Twitter was like, "Uh-oh, this might be a problem."
So if you want to see it, go onto YouTube. It's definitely on YouTube.
It's glorious.
And I gotta give Batista a lot of respect. Because the day after he retired, but he didn't want to say that he was retiring because he didn't want to take from Kurt Angle's moment.
Yes.
Classy move right there by Batista.
I love Batista.
I love that. And to be fair, nobody in the arena, nobody in the world thought Batista was going to win that match.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I will say that
and I still had a good time.
I have one complaint with this match. Well, I actually have two. One, it went a teeny bit long, but it's a Triple H match at WrestleMania. What do you expect?
Yeah.
But my biggest issue with this match was when they did the Hell in a Cell callback, because he had him in the Batista bomb and Triple H had the sledgehammer, but Batista pulled the trigger first.
That was great.
The commentators didn't acknowledge it at all.
Yeah, I was really surprised at that.
I'm just like, come on!
I'm glad I caught it. I'm glad you caught it.
It was clear as day. It was the exact same spot.
Yeah. No, I agree. I was kind of upset with that, and maybe that's just.
And they showed it in the video package. They showed it in the video package.
Yeah.
Why is their commentary so bad?
And Sean, I love you, man, but commentary is not your thing. I love your in-ring work. I love the work you're doing in NXT. But leave the commentary to the semi-professionals that are doing it right now.
Quarter professionals. Let's be realistic.
You're right. I'm giving him a little too much credit.
And the finish was great too. The Ric Flair coming in and getting revenge. That was great.
And it's also worth noting that Batista could still claim, if he ever decides that he wants another one with Triple H, that he's like, well, you still couldn't beat me one-on-one.
Yes.
You still needed Rick.
After all these years, you still needed Rick.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was great. I enjoyed the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was from start to finish. This definitely had like an old school feel to it, and I'm all about that old school feel. Good stuff.
Yes, and I love both guys. Speaking of wonderful, this next match, Baron Corbin defeated Kurt Angle in Kurt Angle's retirement match.
Hold on, before we get to this, was the Elias segment after this or before this?
It was before this.
Okay, I have to stop to talk about that. I know you don't want to because I know how you feel about it. But I want to stop to talk about this before we get to Corbin and Angle because not even for the Doctor of Thugonomics thing, but props to Elias for I was really outside the box of having like him on the piano and then him on the guitar and then him on the drum set and having like a massive three-way like music number with himself.
And him just continuously congratulating himself on how good he was.
That was the funniest thing.
It was great. It was great. It was really funny.
I don't even care what happens after that because that alone was so creative and so outside the box.
Yes.
What WWE normally does with these segments, that was really funny.
It was funny.
And then the 42-year-old who thinks he's a 22-year-old rapper came out, and I don't know why they call it rap because it's him just doing basic rhymes. Where he broke kayfabe, which is like, okay.
I'm going to say something that is kind of controversial, but should not be. Thugonomics Cena is just as bad as regular Cena. They both suck.
Well, let me tell you this, though. Fruity Pebbles Cena would not have been as well received as Thugonomics Cena was.
I don't care.
I know you don't.
This is a personal issue with me, Sean.
I know it is. And that's why you were going to skip right over this, and I wasn't going to let you do that.
When he came out to Thugonomics Cena, I legit took my headphones off and just started watching something else until it was over. I could not bear it.
And that might have been actually my pop of the night, because I was just as a surprise. I was just like, oh, okay, we're gonna get Thugonomics Cena, but he looked so ridiculous.
Plus, you had your friend pulling his hair out while watching it across the across the country.
Well, it's interesting because I was watching, again, I hate to shout them out so much, but Cultaholic, but they made a good point. Ross made a good point where, do you remember that promo that CM Punk gave to John Cena where he said, you become the very thing you hate? You're I forget how.
The New York Yankees?
You've become the New York Yankees. And then they did that whole Babe Ruth thing before John Cena came out. And he's from Boston. Why is he wearing a New York jersey? Because he is the New York Yankees, and he finally acknowledged it. CM Punk's pretty damn clever, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
He pretty much nailed everything he said right down to the T.
From like 8 years ago.
I know. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Say what you want about CM Punk, but he's a smart man.
He is. All right, we can move on now. We can move on.
I'm probably the only person on earth that enjoyed this match at all.
Sure. I liked it.
Baron Corbin defeated Kurt Angle. It was a Raw match. Like, there wasn't anything to it. But the fact that Baron Corbin mocked John Cena and everyone wanted John Cena, but they didn't get it, and he just won the match anyway, that's why I liked it. That's absolutely 100% why I liked it.
That was leave it to Corbin to know exactly how to get people annoyed at him.
Yes.
And say what you want, and I was making this case to a couple people. Baron Corbin was absolutely 100%, no doubt, the right choice to end Kurt Angle's career in Mania. He was the guy that nobody wanted to see, that everybody really hated, not because they liked him, but because they wanted him to go away. He wouldn't go away. They had the previous storyline history, and Corbin's going to be a perfect guy to gloat about that and throw it right into all of those entitled fans' faces for wanting John Cena in that spot.
Yes.
Was the match again? It was no Gargano Cole.
Yeah. Yes.
It was no Dunn Walter. It was a 40,000-year-old Angle Turtle facing. Oh, come on. Tell me he doesn't look like a turtle without a shell.
I mean, you're not wrong, but
I love you, Kurt. But it's true.
he doesn't suck. He doesn't suck. He snaps. Anyway.
But anyway, so this match was fine. I think Corbin winning was the right move. And honestly, they worked pretty well together.
Yeah, it was Baron Corbin, and the crowd had seen literally 13 matches before this.
Yeah, they were drained.
Yes, absolutely.
I feel like Corbin would have gotten more heat earlier in the show. And I mean, to be fair, I think Corbin was a good choice for this. And for the people saying that it should have been Cena, let me ask you this. For every time that you say that you want these old-timers to put the young guys over, for the young guys to have their chances, why did you want Cena in there so badly?
Why are they okay with Cena coming back when he keeps leaving, and why do they keep dumping on Brock Lesnar?
It's just, these people don't make any sense.
No, they don't.
Who would that have helped if Kurt faced Cena? That would have been, oh, well, John Cena got a rub, and oh, bye. And then Kurt's, oh, bye.
It's because wrestling fans are dumb.
They really are.
They really are.
But
yeah, thumbs up for me just because of the making fun of Cena thing.
Yeah, and making fun of the smarts. Anytime you're smart bashing, I am all for it.
Yes,
Props
absolutely.
to you, Corbin.
Absolutely.
Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Up next was Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental title. This was definitely put on fast forward, but it was good while it lasted.
It's the only thing that confused me is why the hell did Bobby Lashley have those yellow contacts?
I have no idea, because Finn Balor said he was... Huh?
You know what his probably was? It's like, okay, we need to do something just as cool as the Demon. Contacts. That's it.
I think Bobby Lashley was thinking, he's coming out as the Demon, so I'm going to look weird too and intimidate him. It didn't work, it just looked weird.
It didn't. It was just out of place.
It was just random.
Never did that before.
It was very random.
It was like out of nowhere. It's like, oh, okay. And
also, Bobby Lashley cannot take a sling blade.
Bobby Lashley can't take a lot of things.
He can take Roman Reigns giving him an attitude adjustment over the top rope.
That's true.
Which must have sucked.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
I still can't believe he did that. Like, say what you want about Bobby Lashley. He took that bump. He has my respect.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've always liked Bobby Lashley. It's just like, he's definitely had his good matches, and he's definitely had his not-so-good matches.
Yeah.
And he and Finn have a pretty good chemistry together from the amount of times that they faced each other, which is also a big detractor for me for this match, because it feels like we've seen this match for the title every week.
Yes.
And for the past, 2 months. So it's just like, oh, okay, another fish with, a flip-flop of the title, and there's, again, no way the Demon's not winning. This was another pretty foregone conclusion there.
This match is a thumbs up for me purely because Finn Balor gave Bobby Lashley a powerbomb. That popped me. So
that was the best spot of the match.
Yes, it was. It was phenomenal. And the stomp where he crushed Bobby Lashley's ribs.
Yeah.
In his chest. That was a brutal stomp.
Yeah. And that powerbomb definitely woke up the crowd.
Yes, it did.
It really woke up the crowd pretty significantly, which was cool because they needed to be woken up to get ready for what we'll get to in a second. But
oh yes,
I gotta give Finn credit for demoning. You know how he does that that crawly entrance with the whole demon thing, for getting his ass down that ring fast enough to be like a normal entrance ramp.
Yeah.
He crawled his ass off to get down there. I was like, man, this dude is hauling ass. Good for him.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So up next, we're gonna make history, Sean. It's the.
Wait! Hold on. We've gone through so many of these right now. It seems like it's time for a break. 7 hours into the show.
Oh my God.
Why did they do this?
This is not iCarly.
Why did they do this? There was no point to this. Nobody wanted to see this. Nobody needed to see this. This was way too late in the show to do this kind of bullshit.
I have a question. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about with the iCarly thing?
Yes.
Okay, thank God. I'm glad.
Yes.
I was afraid that you were like, okay, random iCarly name drop. Josh was gone insane, but whatever.
No, it's but this was just, this was so unnecessary.
It was so clearly we need 5 minutes for this crowd to like take out their oxygen masks.
Well, any people that were awake from the power bomb were put back to sleep with this dance break.
You know who I need after a 15-match show? R-Truth.
I don't even hate R-Truth.
I don't either, but I'm just like, oh my God, why?
This was not necessary.
It was so stupid.
Oh, and you know what? Before I forget it, that the thing with the SNL guys with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash was hysterical.
I don't think I saw it.
Oh God. Okay, let me try and summarize this. This happened like several matches ago. But Colin Jost and Michael Che are like saying like how hurt they are, and the doctors turn around and it's Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, and they're talking about like they didn't specifically say proctology exams, but they like really did the flex the rubber glove, and Kevin Nash looks like all seductive as he's putting the glove on. It's absurd, and it's like what the hell? But it would explain why there's such an issue with the doctors in WWE. Because if you're letting Scott Hall and Kevin Nash be your doctors for your trainers, no wonder 7 people got injured at WrestleMania.
Good Lord. That's a lot of injuries.
Love the Outsiders. Good to see him. Anyway.
So we had our historic main event where the microphone got cut off. That killed me.
Yeah, it was really a surprise.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Okay, we're just going to keep making the same joke at each other over and over.
Thanks, Kevin Dunn.
Gee, like, not only is it the biggest show of the year, not only is it the main event of the biggest show of the year, 16 matches in at this point, but it's the first ever women's main event match, and the microphone can't take it anymore.
Oh, and we forgot it. Kevin Dunn won. Back in the women's tag match where they had Brett come out after Beth Phoenix and Natalya came out.
Mm-hmm.
Brett's music played, but it took a solid like 20 seconds for them to switch from Beth Phoenix's Tron to Brett's.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, Kevin Dunn, what the hell was that?
And a match later, when Kofi Kingston was making his entrance, his nameplate appeared on the screen. Immediate cutaway. Like, the second his nameplate got on the screen, cutaway.
Kevin Dunn must just get, like, wickedly baked before these shows.
Maybe he was just as asleep as the crowd was.
It could be. Or maybe the lights were projecting off his teeth. He couldn't actually see the monitor.
And then they were bouncing off his teeth into the monitor, back into his eyes.
So he couldn't quite make out what was going on.
His teeth is actually a Tomb Raider light puzzle. Sean, his teeth is actually a Tomb Raider light puzzle.
Oh, God.
That's fantastic.
If you get several lasers, you could actually solve one of those Ratchet and Clank revolving puzzles with doors.
Okay.
This has gone on way too far.
Yes, this has gone off the rails. But this match, Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair, good match, exhausted crowd. That was the story of this match.
Why in the hell did Charlotte come down in that helicopter and then outside and then take an entire Joan Jett performance to get to the ring? What was the point of that? Please tell me, says Charlotte Flair, I don't want to be stigmatized by my father, even though I do the woo and I use the figure 4 and I have his theme song in my theme song and I use the same helicopter spot that my father used. I don't want to be stigmatized by my father, Charlotte Flair?
That's a very, very... They must have trimmed down that name on her birth certificate. There's a nice dad joke for you.
They had to notch it down. Had to notch it down a couple bitches.
Anyway, speaking of the live performance for Ronda Rousey theme song, so much better than her actual theme song.
Yeah, it sounded great. She looked great, and honestly, I really do think it was the lower key that made that better, because a lot of times it just sounds shrieky.
Yes, it's amazing. how much better it sounded than the way her theme song normally is. Can we just have that?
All the time? That'd be great.
Also, Rhonda forgot to put on her weird bird makeup, which is a good thing.
Also fine. And also, I did see her crack a smile when she passed by Joan Jett. Totally cool. I'd mark out for that too. But then she did what it took a whole year for me begging for them to do with her. To walk down to the ring, no smile, all business.
Yes.
It took all year for them to finally get that right for her.
In a match where she loses.
But still, all I've wanted was all business for Ronda Rousey, and we never got it.
Speaking of attire, anyone else think Becky Lynch's tracksuit thing is weird? Or is it just me?
I don't really... I'd have to look at it again. I wasn't really paying attention to it, because if I paid attention to the suit, then I'd have to start paying attention to what's underneath the suit, and I didn't want to do that for a match of the first ever historic women's main event. I wanted to just see the action rather than being like, oh man.
That's not the kind of action you were looking for, so that's what you're saying. Right. Okay.
It was too late. I was honestly too exhausted for that kind of thing.
Yeah. But the match itself was a little sloppy, but for the most part, it was pretty good. It's just had a very tired crowd. It
was fine. I mean, that nasty bump that Rousey took.
Oh my god! How did she not break her own neck?
That was into. Well, she did break her hand.
Yeah, that must have been what she broke her hand on.
But yeah, I would imagine so.
Who thought that spot was a good idea?
Yeah, but it was. What I really liked of this match of all the spots was Charlotte's ring post figure 4. You don't see enough ring post figure 4s.
Exactly.
But to be fair, I think Bret Hart had a better ring post figure 4 than Charlotte's ring post figure 4.
Yeah.
Brett always locked it on, especially during his heel run in WCW and in '97 in WWE. He locked it on intensely, like wickedly intensely, and I got to give him credit for that. But it was nice to see in this match. Nice to see that call back to somebody other than her father.
And we got a beautiful Spanish fly, even though once again Kevin Dunn was zoomed right in on Charlotte's face while she was counting down before she jumped.
Big surprise.
Kevin, bruh.
He just...
What you want to bet when the DVD comes out, they're going to have a different angle, so you don't see her counting down before she does the move.
They should have a DVD set the best of Kevin Dunn and botches.
Just all botches.
Hours of just like random red squares appearing in the arena, just the wrong trons, misspelling episode, like you name it, just like
AJ Styles coming out last year too, having the Universal title instead of the WWE title.
Yeah, seriously.
I remember that.
We really could make a Kevin Dunn collection.
Yes, we could. Drives me insane.
I don't want to spend 3 discs just getting angry at production.
and then the finish.
Oh man,
what a way to send the crowd home.
I feel bad for the ref in this situation because like the refs are supposed to take it kind of like a shoot. So if the shoulders are up, you recount. But like, to be fair for this guy, this is the main event of the show, and it's lasted 7 hours long. Like, what do you do in this situation?
Yeah.
Do you let them improv a finish? Do you just finish it all the way? And he got fined. I don't know whether you know that.
Yes, I do. I saw that.
He got fined for, I guess, the botching it, but not botching it. I mean,
it's very convoluted.
It's just it's a confusing situation. And I really think if you're going to blame anybody, you kind of got to blame Ronda for that one.
Yeah, didn't she not want to get pinned?
Yeah, but I mean, you could have done like the Hogan at WrestleMania 6 and kick out like immediately a 3.
Yeah.
You know, there was ways to do that. It's just...
It was a very awkward way to end the show.
Yeah.
16 matches, and that's the finish of your main event. Yikes.
Because of like the pressure that those 3 ladies had.
Yes.
Literally having that much hype about them being the first women's main event, having a pretty solid match, and then just to have it end like that.
Yeah.
I feel bad for everyone involved.
Like, if you were all the way up in the nosebleeds, you could have seen that Ronda's shoulder was up.
And honestly, I truly do believe now that after that, we're never going to see women main event Mania again.
Probably not.
It's a one and done.
Yeah.
And that's on Vince. But I just said Vince McMahon looks like another writer's going to get fired.
Oh, I heard about that too.
So, but like, I don't know. I feel bad for these three ladies. I hope that they'll all be fine moving forward. Who knows if we're going to see Ronda again.
Hey, at least after they said Vincent got fined, at least no one got in the ring and tried to tackle anybody.
That's true.
Yes, only to get beaten up by Ronda Rousey's boyfriend in the entire WWE locker room.
That punch by Dash Wilder.
Dude, he messed him up.
Glorious.
Like, why would you tackle a 61-year-old man?
I've watched that punch like 50 times, and it gets sweeter every time I see it.
For those of you that don't have a clue what we're talking about, at the Hall of Fame, a fan attacked Bret Hart for no reason and just got demolished.
Yeah. I mean, but not by security.
No, not by security.
But in a Hall of Fame full of wrestlers, do you even need security? Like,
yeah.
You've got a bunch of people who know how to take people down.
In the words of JR, he got taken behind the woodshed.
Yeah. And Dash Wilder legitimately tried to put him out to pasture. I mean,
yes.
It is a stiff punch to the skull.
Yeah, it was glorious. And I
was actually kind of hoping that he'd get rewarded by keeping the...
Yeah, yeah.
I was really hoping that they would reward that, but oh well.
Yeah, this was a very good, very decent WrestleMania. One of the better ones over the past several years.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I mean,
way too long.
Yeah.
Way too long. You do not need a 16-match show. I don't care who you are.
No, and it's not. The last 16-match show they had, or at least the last one I can remember, was the tournament that Randy Savage won.
Yeah.
Which was WrestleMania 4.
Yeah.
So, and that was a little different because it's a tournament, and I promise you, those matches all did not go 10 minutes plus.
Yes. So Sean, what is your rating for this pay-per-view out of 10?
You know, I've really tried to mull this out because like I really wasn't like disinterested in much. It was really the women's tag match I could not care less about, and that was by and large it. I mean, Finn and Bobby was like, save that the power bomb was met, and then of course I had to factor in. It took me a while to sort through this main event, but all in all, I think that the rating that you were saying that night is probably accurate. I'd give it an 8.5.
Yeah.
You know, the pacing of this show was spectacular. For 7 hours worth of content, they paced it out very well.
Yeah, I agree.
To keep it exciting enough to make you want to keep staying up.
They tried.
They really did.
They didn't always succeed, but they tried.
Right, and that's something that you can't always say about WWE. Like, they definitely put effort into this show. They had 3 major babyface wins with Becky and Kofi and Seth, something they do not ever do.
They gave the fans what they wanted, for the most part.
Which again, is something they never do.
Shocking.
So I gotta give them credit for that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely, the build to this show was crap.
Yes.
But this match definitely, I think the show definitely delivered on a number of fronts.
I'm buying this on DVD. I'm absolutely buying this on DVD.
I will definitely rewatch this one on the network, which you can conveniently buy for the low, low price of $9.99.
Man, Sean, you're so smooth. You've convinced me, man. If only I had $9.99.
See, I'm just following WWE's formula, where if you mention it like every 10 to 12 seconds,
Sean, I have a serious question. Is the $9.99 of SNL fame?
No.
I must have this information. Why could they not say from SNL? It's less words. Why?
They're not actually famous, so they had to try and add fame into it as much as they could for them to actually gain fame.
Every sentence drove me insane. But anyway, WrestleMania 35, I'm giving it also an 8.5 out of 10. Pretty good show, much better than last year's WrestleMania. Better than WrestleMania 33, much better than 32. I would go see the show if you don't have anything to do for an entire day. But yeah, it was a good show.
Watch it in parts.
Yes.
I'd say if you're going to watch it in sections.
Yes.
I'd say watch the opening up till Kofi wins, and then like watch the other half on another day when you're really bored.
Yes.
And it's if you cut this in, the beauty of the network, which you can conveniently buy for the low price of $9.99, is that you can actually split apart and actually have 2 days worth of WrestleMania rather than having to just gut it out for the entire long haul. And I totally recommend doing that. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's just a lot.
Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed our review. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that fun stuff, unless YouTube, strikes this video down and Spotify kicks me out, which might happen.
Which it might.
I'm just kidding. We have white privilege. We're good. Anyway.
Now we're going.
Yeah.
But before we go, we should mention that you're going to hear from us again one more time than you normally do.
Oh, yes.
Because we've decided that due to its larger nature than it's been in previous years, that we're also going to review Money in the Bank.
Shorty, what you drank?
So get ready for that with your drink.
Yeah.
And we'll be there with our drink and most likely with our anger and resentment as well.
And our shorties.
And our short, if we can find them.
Yes. Get it because they're short.
So,
all right, this review's officially gone on too long.
stop. We gotta stop.
All right, good night, everybody.